In a pretty even boat speed match. Team New Zealand gained a little bit at the beginning. Alinghi have gained a little bit back. Maybe the breeze has shifted a little bit left, which helped them do that. So I think right now both teams are still not really sure of the boat speed differences, and they'll still be assessing it. Now they seem comfortable to get probably back in more into the middle of the race course. They drag raced out to the left there for quite a long time. So now we're both going back to the right. We heard Terry Hutchison talking to Dean before, saying he sees a little bit more wind in front of them that he's going to try and get to. Team New Zealand will be just trying to set themselves up here. They get use of one little puff, maybe a little right shift, and they'll come back and engage with Alinghi again.
One more and get the weather, Louis.
Go nicely, Louis.
So very positive comments coming off the boat. Looking nice, Louis. The Emirates Team New Zealand, now for New Zealand fans watching, some of them who were so adamant that, you know, Alinghi would be too fast, all those comments, at least so far, what we're not quite halfway up this first leg, there's no indication that either team has got a major speed advantage, as you mentioned. One of the key elements, of course, is the weather team, and Team New Zealand has been constantly on top of it, haven't they? Yeah, they've had a very, very good record so far, especially in the Louis Vuitton final. They were, you know, on the ball almost every race. But for sure, the Alinghi weather team are not shabby either. Led by a Kiwi, John Bilger. Very, very experienced, and they set up all the buoys that we talk about, the MDS buoys that are littered around the race course. That was set up by the Alinghi weather program years ago. All these buoys, this information we see on the screen is the same information that the boats get leading up to the race and their weather team. So each figure there is coming from an individual buoy, isn't it? We see them.
Exactly. The yellow buoys out there with a height of 6 meters that all this information gets in. It's been a fantastic advancement, especially for the smaller teams through the Louis Vuitton that can't afford to have multiple chase boats out there recording stuff.
I just love to watch Dean Barker at the moment. You can almost see the confidence with which he's grown over this regatta, and certainly over the last 4 years. He's been under enormous scrutiny, hasn't he, from all parts of the world, from here, from Britain, who, you know, the English keep saying, why don't they use Ben Ainsley, who's been an outstanding training helmsman here, of course, see Grant Loretz. But Barker, it just seems to be a solidity about the man now, and he handled that start really well. There he is, standing tall on Emirates Team New Zealand. Dean Barker with the lead. It's not even a boat length at the moment, 20 metres to SUI 100. The defenders Alinghi.
There's been plenty of comments coming from within the team, from Dean's crewmates, of how he really has matured over this campaign from the last one, and they really see a good, I wouldn't say improvement, but a maturity, and he really is leading the team well now.
Seeing Alinghi through virtual eye,
Alinghi just sneaking a little bit of a gain in the left at the moment. Maybe they've got a little bit more pressure. Certainly the comments we're hearing from off the boats is from both boats are saying that the performance looks pretty even at this stage. Right now it looks like we've had a little bit of a lefty, and Alinghi's in a slightly better position right now to take advantage of that.
This is a new feature of Virtual Eye, giving us the time to the ley lines, the right and left, port and starboard ley lines.
This type of information is what the navigator is always feeding to the tactician, so the tactician knows exactly where they are on the course. They'll be saying here, okay, five this way, 7 the other, so it gives them an idea of the percentages of where they've got to place themselves. Team New Zealand, if they start thinking that they're losing a little bit here, will actually want to start to get back more into the middle of the race course, because if you are behind and you're in the middle of the course, you still have the options, the ability to get a split and not get covered completely all the time. Once you get out close to the corner, out to the edges of the course, and you're behind, your options are diminished, and that allows the leading boat to set up and punish you coming into the windward mark.
Looks like more wind up at the top mark, Murray. Yeah. Yeah.
It's Brad Butterworth talking to Murray Jones. Murray Jones is the strategist on board. He will be constantly looking at the long-term weather pattern, a similar role to what Adam Bieshel and Ray Davies do for Team New Zealand.
The other tack, you're into the waves a bit.
So we've got Brad Butterworth just chatting to Murray and talking about what's going to happen up the race course.
We saw that earlier, didn't we? A little bit of chop out there today, and you can see Alinghi there. You just need one or two bad waves, and suddenly that, well, you see the distance, the lead there from Switzerland is reduced slightly, and it may well have been affected by a couple of waves that they cocked badly.
Yeah, there's some pretty, you can see every now and again when you see the complete bow almost go underwater, that's going to slow you down considerably. Here we go. Here's what really is the first cross here of this America's Cup. It looks like from here, it looks like Alinghi going to be able to get a lee bow, a tight lee bow on Team New Zealand here.
Not soft. That's right, that's a 2.
They may even be able to cross. It'll be interesting to see what they want to do, though.
20 seconds to go here, right?
Looks like they're going to tack in front or lee bow and then try and push Team New Zealand out to that right side of the race course.
It's good that we're getting information off the boats. The Defender.
Say first points in this race to Alinghi to be able to control that first meeting.
How much the other? It's 2-1.
Yes, exactly what we were talking for before. Brad Butterworth is asking that information. How much time is it? 6 and 3 means they always talk when they say 6 and 3. It's 6 minutes. The first number you hear is the direction that you're heading at the time. The second number is the other direction. So he knows it's 2-1 on their way. So that means that they've got a really good chance here he'll be trying to push Team New Zealand out to that lay line as early as possible. Likewise, Team New Zealand will be knowing the same thing, and they'll be trying to keep the time that they spend on port tack, as we see them tacking now, as to the minimum, so they can keep forcing their way back into the middle of the race course and keep this race really tight. This will be interesting for us here to see how the boats are performing in tacking. We've always seen Team New Zealand perform well in tacking, Jules, against other teams.
It's 2.5 and 50. It's 2.5 and 5 though. Let's stand by.
Second meeting on this first leg.
Pick your spot in.
Initial advantage with Alinghi, the defenders of the America's Cup.
Play us out into better pressure. Next one, quick, stronger.
There's so little in it in this first race, and we'll be able to see through virtual eye in a moment the tracking of these two boats as they come out of the tacks, and you get an indication there of just how fast and how smooth they are coming out of the tacks.
Nice. Just wait if you have to. Just wait if you have to.
Really important. Tacking today is quite difficult because of the amount of waves out there. You can't just, in a flat water day, the tacticians will be like, okay, let's tack here, and the helmsman can basically do it any time. Now you're seeing a lot of waves, and if you tack at the wrong time and cut off the bad wave, you can really.
Well, this is where, the helmsman comes in. But he's got to pick the spot.
Exactly.
They can say, navigator or tactician can say tack now, but it's up to the helmsman to get it smooth.
Exactly. You heard in the last exchange when we were listening to Brad Butterworth, he said, pick your spot here. And that's purely, okay, I want you to tack soon, but make sure you do it at a good time.
Let's go back out on the water now. Peter Montgomery with James Spittle.
as they come together again, and it is a Lingy SUI 100. They are in a position to cross if they wanted to this stage. It'd be interesting to see whether they do.
Stand by.
And they're going to tack down to Lewin ahead, James.
Yeah, small gains there to Lingy from the left. We saw a small advantage up the start line there with the right. And then I'd have to say for the next 3 quarters of the race course, it really has probably gone to the left. Lingy's done a nice job there. And out of these tacks, we've seen small gains to Lingy. It looks like it's up around 50-55 metres. And slowly but surely, Brad Butterworth is pushing the Kiwis out to the right-hand side.
And right in the foreground there is Simon Daubney, one of 5 New Zealanders aboard the Lingy, who have won the America's Cup races 15 times, a record. Absolutely outstanding.